The views and opinions expressed by the following program and its participants are solely their current opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Bobo 89.1 FM and DMS Broadcasting respective stations. The program participants' opinions are based upon information they consider reliable and based on their knowledge.
Welcome everyone to Your Health, Your Wealth, brought to you by BAF Insurance. Your Health, Your Wealth airs every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. So remember to tune in each week and tell a friend. You can also catch the shows you missed on YouTube on the Be Well, Be Healthy for Life channel.
And make sure you tune into the show and listen in for our resident superstar, Lady K.
If you don't know who Lady K is, her podcast, Be Well, Be Healthy for Life, is sponsored by BAF Global Group and can be found on YouTube. Her episodes are released weekly on the BAF Facebook page as well. Your Health, Your Wealth is brought to you by BAF Insurance as a community service. Your Health, Your Wealth airs every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30 a.m.
Your health, your wealth, your health, your wealth, your health for life. Your Health, Your Wealth is brought to you by BAF Insurance. Your health, our priority.
There's nothing more important than your health. BAF Insurance knows that. It's why we offer quality, affordable healthcare plans for both groups and individuals. It's why we have created the Be Well, Be Healthy for Life YouTube channel and the Your Health, Your Wealth radio show. At BAF, your health is our priority. Visit us at bafkman.com, follow us on Facebook, or give us a call today at 949-5089.
Once again, it's Your Health, Your Wealth brought to you by BAF Insurance each and every Wednesday at 6:30 a.m. till 7:30 a.m. We're right here on Bobo 89.1 FM. Remember, you can tune in each week and tell a friend, or you can catch us for episodes that you missed. We're on YouTube on the Be Well, Be Healthy for Life channel, so don't forget to subscribe. And all of this month, we're talking about
Dementia.
Dementia, yes. This whole month is dedicated to dementia and Alzheimer's. And we have some special guests with us here. As you know, as I said, September, the whole month we have been dedicated to dementia awareness. And this is the final week of it. So we wanted to sit down with some folks and talk to them.
So we have Miss Pamella Williams, who is a practicing registered mental health nurse and a trained clinical psychologist, along with Miss Jasmine Powell, who is a clinical social worker. Today, we want to know a little bit about the importance of mental health support and how to get it for the family members and other persons who look after the needs of the persons who may have dementia. Most of the time, when someone is diagnosed, it requires that the members of their support team need to come together to make plans to care for the person in the long term. Depending on what stage the dementia has progressed to, that care may be anything from providing transportation and running errands, or attending medical appointments, or arranging for round-the-clock care. No matter what, this is automatically extra responsibilities for the persons involved. This can cause many persons to become overwhelmed. Our guests today are experts at providing the mental health support that is needed for the families and also for the cares of the persons who have dementia. Thank you for agreeing to speak with us and for taking time out of your very busy schedules. Nurse Williams, I know you're actually on your way to work, and we want to say thank you very much. And we also want to go right into asking you, is there actually a support group on island that meets?
Thank you, Mr. Chuck and Ms. Des, for inviting us, and good morning to the listeners. I am very happy that we were able to come on and to talk today about dementia caregivers. The question you asked about support groups, to start out, first of all, we have the ADASE, which is the Alzheimer's and Dementia Association of the Cayman Islands, and they have their monthly meetings. This association actually creates awareness for all forms of dementia with a special focus on Alzheimer's, which is one type of dementia. The association provide resources and facilities for training for medical professionals and first aid responders. It counsels people on the care of dementia patients and educate caregivers and family members about the different stages of Alzheimer's and how to provide care for them. It is super important, and I guess as we talk more, we'll talk more about caregiving
Okay.
and who is actually the best person to provide this type of support, and what should family members really be doing, to aid dementia patients, as they go through the process, because as we know, it's a progressive one,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no cure for it, but of
Mm-hmm.
course, there are therapies and there are medications that can help certain symptoms that comes on. The dementia support group of the Cayman Islands, they have a contact number and they also have an email that we could check their website. But for information's sake, you could reach them at 936-1655 or 924-4170. And their email is info@adacayman.com. And they have a website, www.adacayman.ky. We also have a mental health family caregiver support group,
Mm-hmm.
Lord Silent Voices, which I myself facilitate. And
Okay.
certainly enough, they could reach us at the WhatsApp group at 925-6733, and we meet at the MZ Church Hall the last Tuesday of every month. Just for more information on the Alzheimer's dementia group, they have a function on Thursday that is
Mhm.
open to the public.
Mm-hmm.
That is the 28th of September
Mhm.
at Fidel's Murphy
Mm-hmm.
at 7 p.m. So they're having a brain warp pop quiz, and the cost there is $10. So anybody who would like to, go, they can go. They can contact the person in charge at 949-5189
Okay.
for further
Excellent.
information.
Excellent. I wanted to bring Miss Jasmine into the conversation. Tell us a little bit about the work that you do and your background so that they can understand the depth of your understanding when it comes to dementia and Alzheimer's.
Okay. I'm Jasmine Powell, psychiatric social worker at HSA. I find social work support is very necessary in supporting families and carers in handling or in working with their loved one that has dementia. What social worker, the type of support is moral support, and the fact that dementia is progressive, the social worker with a knowledge of dementia will be able to guide the family and the caregiver throughout the process. A person with dementia may manifest in several different ways. There is not just one mode when a person is diagnosed or is suffering from dementia. There is not a mode that you can say this is definitely what you can expect in any person that has such a diagnosis. That's not so. Persons manifest in varying ways, and therefore the family will always need the social work support, which is ongoing. One of the beauty about social work support with working with families is that they're usually easier to reach, so to speak. So it's social work support is more than just an appointment, a counseling appointment once a month or once a week. Moral support entails doing home visits. It entails being reachable, where family members and caregivers can reach for information. Or then you may wake up tomorrow morning and your loved one is manifesting or definitely demonstrating a behavior that you have never seen before since the illness starts.
Okay.
And then you need to talk to somebody.
Right.
That is easy. That's how social work will support in situations like that.
Miss Jasmine, are you like a part of a team that provides that kind of support? Is there like a certain amount of persons that make up that team? I know, like, I've had experience with having conversations with people with dementia, and it's really hard for me to tell what is real. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic, but it's really hard for me to tell what is real and what is not real, because sometimes they're actually talking about their past lives, but then sometimes somebody's standing next to them, like shaking their head, actually like trying to indicate to you that it's kind of delusional. So what is, I mean, what do you all bring to the arena? How do you all support situations like that? Just kind of tell us a little about that.
Counseling, moral support, as I said before, advising family and helping them to interpret the behavior and also to apply the correct or the most appropriate response. A person with dementia, sometimes their minds are they're relating to you. Sometimes it's this minute. It's relational. They identify you and they start and they can maintain a conversation for a couple of minutes. And then in that same conversation, they gone back to something from their past life when they were growing up or something to that effect.
Miss Jasmine,
person who is trained or have an understanding of some sort will be able to roll with that person as they change. So in communicating with a person with dementia, you can frustrate that person when they change the conversation to something unrelated. You can frustrate them by insisting that they come back to what you are talking about, the original conversation, because they don't remember it. Their mind is gone somewhere else. And so you would advise caregiver or family that walk with them, walk them through the process. So when their mind go back and start telling you a story, haunting years ago, really? So what happened to that? And let them just talk it through. And they'll roll right back. But if you insist on keeping them in your world, then that will frustrate their mind because they have already passed on from what you were saying. So stuff like that, you have to apply coaching as social workers in coaching family and loved ones to interpret the behavior as much as it's possible. Yes, it requires special training. It requires ongoing reading. It requires working close with other, as Miss Palmer rightfully say. And one other response to the question: yes, we have a team of social workers. However, the supporting team of social workers mainly lies with the DCFS and their LLS services team. As a psychiatric social worker, I am mainly addresses patients that comes to the psychiatrist's attention. That's where I come in.
But you know what you say makes so much sense from the standpoint of all of the family members need to kind of be on the same page and know the story so they can kind of pick apart fact from fiction and allow them to express themselves, but then reel it back in. Would I be correct in saying that?
Yes, you are. But in a sense, when a person has dementia, you don't really need to know what is true or what is not true. You just need to let them talk. Because it doesn't make a difference actually. It's an illness.
They need to express themselves.
Just flow with the conversation. Because again, if you try to say, but that's not true, you didn't do so and so, that will frustrate them. Emotionally, that can be frustrating. So just roll with the punches.
You're putting undue stress on the situation that doesn't need to be that. Just let them express themselves. So speaking of expressing themselves, we're going to express ourselves to a quick break right now. We're going to talk to Lady K and come right back. You're listening to Your Health, Your Wealth, brought to you by our friends over there at BAF Insurance. Each and every Wednesday, we get together from 6:30 a.m. till 7:30 a.m. right here on Bobo 89.1 FM. We'll be right back.
Your health, your wealth, your health, your wealth, your health for life.
Your Health, Your Wealth is brought to you by BAF Insurance. Your health, our priority.
Today on Be Well, Be Healthy for Life, Lady K, your wellness coach, talks about preventing memory loss.
Memory loss and a little disorientation is part of the aging process. We forget the simplest of things, such as where do we put our glasses when they're actually sitting on our head? Or we spend minutes standing in the refrigerator door trying to figure out what do we need inside. If you learn to laugh at yourself when these things happen, You'll manage memory loss with much more grace and less frustration. But there can be other reasons for memory loss that have nothing to do with age. In this episode, I want to talk to you less about the causes and more about how to make your memory last longer. Now is a good time to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. I'm sure your friends will learn a few things about saving their memories. Memory loss can be caused by a myriad of things, including medications, lack of exercise, anxiety, depression, and illnesses such as dementia or Alzheimer's disease. If you started on a course of medication and find yourself becoming forgetful suddenly, please share this with your medical practitioner. The sooner you address the side effect, the quicker a solution can be found and the less effects you will suffer. Studies show that exercise, especially aerobic exercise, protects memory and enhances thinking skills. Brisk walking or running stimulates the release of chemicals in the brain that affect the health and the supply of brain cells. Healthier brain cells mean better memory. The great news is that the positive effects of aerobic exercise on memory retention happens quickly, so get active. Keep your brain active with word and number puzzles, board games that require strategy, conversations and creative works such as writing and painting all help to slow down memory loss. Among the main reasons for memory loss is sleep deprivation. Here's why. During deep sleep, your brain works to transfer new memories from the hippocampus, where memories are formed and retrieved, to the prefrontal cortex, where long-term storage occurs. Without adequate sleep, your brain cannot efficiently perform these and other functions, causing cognitive issues and memory loss. A change of lifestyle that includes regular and longer periods of sleep can sometimes reverse memory loss or at least slow it down. Did you know that depression and anxiety can actually alter your brain physically? A study from Brigham Young University revealed less brain cell growth in people with mood disorders. Naturally, this will also affect memory, so managing depression and anxiety are essential to maintaining your memory. Diet, exercise practices such as yoga, meditation, or Tai Chi can help to manage your mood disorders. Also, work with your health professional to find solutions that fit your situation. Diet, nutrition, and supplements are critical to slowing down, stopping, or reversing memory loss. Fresh fruits and vegetables are absolutely essential. Grow your own or buy organic if you can for optimum nutrition. Eat lots of fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are necessary for learning and memory. Believe it or not, coffee is also good for your brain. The caffeine and antioxidants found in its favorite morning brew can help support brain health. Other foods that are high in antioxidants, minerals, and compounds that boost brain health are blueberries, broccoli, pumpkin seeds, dark chocolate, nuts, and eggs. Vitamin C is vital to preventing mental decline, so eat your oranges, cherries, red bell peppers, and other colorful foods that are high in this important vitamin. Speaking of colorful foods, turmeric, the deep yellow spice that gives curry its color, has curcumin. That's a compound which has been shown to directly enter the brain and benefit brain cells. And turmeric's easy to grow, so opt for natural instead of pills or powders if you can. Finally, there are a host of herbal supplements available on the market that claim to boost memory and prevent memory loss. These include herbs such as ginkgo biloba, saffron, lemon balm, and water hyssop. As always, do your research and discuss these with your medical professional before deciding to take any herbal supplements, especially if you're taking medications. Remember, some memory loss may be preventable, reversible, or possibly slowed down with just a few lifestyle changes. Exercise, eat healthy, choose supplements carefully, discuss the issues with your doctor as soon as symptoms arise, and take sleep seriously. Your brain needs it.
Be Well, Be Healthy for Life is brought to you by BAF Global Group. Remember, always consult your doctor before starting any new health and wellness regimen. BAF Global Group offers life, health, and general insurance plus a full suite of financial solutions in the Bahamas, life insurance in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and affordable individual and group health insurance in the Cayman Islands. Visit us at mybafsolutions.com.
Your health, your wealth, your health, your wealth, your health for life.
Your Health, Your Wealth is brought to you by BAF Insurance. Your health, our priority.
Hi, we're back. My name is Desiree, and I'm here with Chuck, and you're listening to Your Health, Your Wealth. And we have two special guests with us this morning. We have Nurse Williams, who is a practicing registered mental health nurse and a trained clinical psychologist. And she's here along with Miss Jasmine Powell, who's a clinical social worker. These ladies have very busy schedules, and they've taken some time out to sit down and have a little conversation with us. When someone develops dementia, and as it progresses, there's a sense of loss in regards to you're losing the person you once knew. What advice can you share that can possibly help the persons that feel this loss, like the family members or the people close to them?
That feeling of loss is real. It's actually a grieving process. Sometimes we think that grieving is when we have to bury our loved ones. But to find out that your loved one is diagnosed with dementia, it begins a grieving process in that person. And depending on, say, if it's a spouse or a child, it can become more heart-rending. And I know Miss Pam will talk about the caregiver, because that's why sometimes family might not be the ideal primary caregiver for a loved one who has dementia, because they too, the family is stressed because they now have to go through the system or through the process of understanding your loved one and also unpacking that feeling within yourself. So it is more than a dual process. It's complicated because you don't understand, who am I loving really?
And Miss Pam, what's your take on it from your side of the fence? Tell us a little bit about that.
So as Miss Jasmine said, it's a loss, and the loss is real, and we normally equate grieving with death and so on, but all losses, people go through the same grieving process according to Kubler-Ross. But a change in someone's mental health can, it can be strange and frightening. It's a frightening experience, which is difficult for family caregivers to understand. And so what I would say to persons who have to do this, before I go in back to who should really be caring for these people, is that first and foremost, being patient with yourself, being patient to understand through counseling and psychoeducation about dementia and how it progresses and what will happen over time. Psychoeducation and education through teaching the person how to take care of themselves emotionally, psychologically, and mentally. Because I find from experience, and even with our own self, when we are physically tired, we're more emotionally and psychologically vulnerable. I find with a lot of caregivers that they get burnt out and so on. So they become easily frustrated, agitated, and that sort of thing, irritable. So taking care of your physical body is very important. Eating well, sleeping well, taking rest time, socializing, being in contact with other loved ones and so on can help the strain that this puts on you. always believe in telling people, what they need to hear. So, and sometimes it might sound cliche that, when this start happening, it's not the person that but it's actually the disease process. Kind of sound redundant, but it's really that. And if you can fully understand what dementia is and how it progresses and become more knowledgeable and empowered by, information that relates to it, then I find caregivers do much, much better when they are able to fully understand what the disease process is and what the treatment plan is and how to carry it out. They do way better.
And realistically, the caregiver needs to almost go to school to learn how to deal with this, because this is something that could be years in the process. It's not a quick disorder. It's not a quick disease that, it's here today, and it'll go one way or another quickly. This could be years, 5, 6, 7 years, maybe more than that. A person can live with dementia depending on the quality of life and also the I guess the developing of the disease. Would I be correct in saying that, ladies?
Yes, you are. You're very correct in saying that. And one of the points I would like to note is that you don't get a notice when it's going to start. You don't always get a notice when it's going to start. You sometimes don't even know when the person starts developing dementia, because it starts with simple forgetfulness at times. And also trauma can really initiate a sudden demented state by a traumatic event. So any of those emotional experiences can trigger the disease, and then it remain continuous.
So that's kind of like
why
the
family themselves does go through that process of grieving. Sometimes family feels guilty about what happened to their loved one, and sometimes family really need to go into counseling in dealing with what is happening.
You mean counseling outside
of that? I
can
tell you a little story about a pastor whose wife suffered from dementia. So he being a pastor and, caring, loving, praying pastor, he thought that it was his responsibility totally to take care of his wife, and he didn't need assistance from anyone else. And one of his daughter had come in one day and was talking to him and sharing, and gave him a little break from taking care of his wife. And what he came to realize when he really sat back and, had a cup of tea while his daughter was doing some caring for her mother, was that he realized that he could not be a caregiver and a husband at the same time. Because by the time he was finished with caregiving, he was so exhausted and tired that he really couldn't be the husband that he needed to be for his wife. Especially, as you know, with dementia, sometimes the person comes and go, and sometimes they totally don't know who you are. But in other times, they consciously come back to themselves, and you're like, wow. And in those moments, he probably wouldn't be able to give as much as he wanted to give as a husband, in that period of time. So we have to get to the place where we understand that sometimes it's okay to let go a little bit if you cannot let go a lot, and let other people who are, as Mr. Chuck said, trained and, experienced to come in and to help, with some of the caregiving. Because it can be a difficult task, and it does take a toll on you.
Do you find that people, as you said, need to step back sometimes from being that loving, caring family person to being that worker that needs to do the diligence work with emotion, but put aside? Because as family, you want to be the hugging person. If they holler at you, you don't know how to react, because you're like, oh, but that's my mom. I can't be stern with her and put her down and sit her down and calm her down. I'm doing it a loving way, and that's not responsive to what needs to be, because sometimes the mood swings can be extreme. And as you said, even forgetful, they may forget where and who they are.
Remember, we heard stories about a lady that actually became violent.
Yes.
And that the carer actually put cloth, remember, on her hand,
on her hand,
because the woman would like come at her, like attack her, you know.
But as a loving son or husband, you don't think of that. Oh, this is my mom. I need to not be a little bit more forceful to sit her down and say, you need to calm down and have those conversations. Do you find that family members need to learn this rather than just be that family member?
Every step of the way, individuals need to learn, different things, because these happenings are new to them. As I said earlier, it's a strange. It's not something that they're used to. It's very frightening when I come in as a daughter and my mother doesn't even identify who I am, or she's running me down with a piece of stick or something, saying get out or whatnot. I mean, we have had experiences, obviously. I was looking at this video once in training, and the mother get up in the middle of the night and she was looking through her closet, and the son came and he was saying, Mom, you're disturbing everybody, and you need to go to sleep. And she's saying to him that I'm looking for my clothes to go to work. And she's saying that you need to go to sleep because you have to go to school tomorrow. So his approach initially was just off. And in the right way, he then said to her, Mom, it's 2:00 in the morning. Look at the clock. It's 2:00. And she's like, oh, it's 2:00. So when you're talking to her, you have to bring our awareness to the fact. So look at the clock. It's 2:00 in the morning. Yes, I agree with you. I need to go to bed. But let us go and have a cup of milk, and we can both do it together, and we can both go to bed together. And she said, oh yeah, that's right, because we really need to go to sleep because you have to go to school. It's not that I'm not saying to her that I don't need to go to school, in the negative. But I'm saying, yes, we both need to go to bed because we both need to get up early.
Right. But it's 2 in the morning.
What we have to do.
Right.
So I'm not saying to her, no, what you're saying is nonsense. I'm a big man. I need to I need to go to work. No, we both need to go to sleep because we both have to get up in the morning to do what we have to do. And she said, yes, you're right. So sometimes training helps you to know how to speak to them, how to de-escalate certain situations, and how to alleviate the agitation and the irritability that comes or is associated with dementia.
Nurse Williams, we're closing up the show now. We're winding it all up. And I want to ask you, in the Caribbean culture, I'm thinking of it not just as somebody who may have to deal with this kind of situation, but are there instances where family members just say, you know what, I can't deal with this, and then they don't visit the person at all? Is that the right way to deal with it, or that's definitely not the right way to deal with it? Should you yourself try to get counseling and then try to be able to like face them and try to help take care of them rather than just standing back and having nothing to do with it because you feel that emotionally you're not equipped to deal with it?
Well, in every instance, we need the support of family members. And certainly being a nurse and in the clinical area, I've seen where family members really don't come in to visit because they, as you say,
overwhelmed,
frightened, they're uncomfortable, they feel, lost, and that they've lost somebody too, and they they just don't want to deal with it because it's so difficult to know that your mother or your father does not even know who you are. There are cases on the unit as well where when the patient comes to life, because there are times when it's difficult to do certain self-care on the patient and so on, and very challenging. But there are times when the patient do come back to full and they're in their right sense. And by this time, I grab the phone and I call the loved one to say, come, your mom is here, come and see her. And they actually appreciate that, when they come back and they can recognize. But yes, in the Caribbean, yes. And most of our patients with dementia out there in the community, they're not even diagnosed. And so people are really living, in a place where they have these situations to deal with. They don't know how to deal with it. But I would say when you see a change, take your parent or your loved one to the doctor so that they can make a proper diagnosis so that you can get training. There's a lot of information available out there. WHO has the I Support Dementia. In the Cayman Islands, we have the dementia support group, which is doing an excellent job. Training and giving training to caregivers and so on.
Understandable.
So there are resources out there. YouTube, Google is there information that people can get their hands on. But certainly, yes, people get scared. Yes, it's a challenging time. But if you really learn about this illness or any illness at all, and become empowered, you can, manage with the support of your family, with the support of friends, with connection and so on. And you yourself would be able to create that milieu for your loved one with family and friend support, where people will listen to you without judgment, where you can express your cares and your understanding and provide reassurance, for you in such a difficult time, because it is indeed challenging, and we can change the environment and the milieu of giving, open communication about it as we're doing now, trust and empathy, to others, because people need it, and it's a sensitive moment. It's a difficult time, and we can do it, but we just need the right avenues.
Exactly. In just wrapping up, I just wanted, I'm going to ask you ladies to get your thoughts together and do a final little roundtable. But I just wanted to let people know that last night, Tuesday on the 26th, we had Dementia Friends. They met over at the Georgetown Yacht Club. And this is a new community program that they have launched, which is Odyssey. And for more information about this, what it means is you do have support. You have people out there, such as these wonderful ladies, Miss Pam and Miss Jasmine, who are there to give you support. If you need that, please reach out to info@adacayman.com, and you can get some wonderful, wonderful information, and also find people who are in the same boat as you, and find out maybe some little tips that they have used to kind of combat this, to make life better. Now, we know there's no cure for it, but we can make existence as best as it can be. So with that being said, ladies, I'll ask y'all to just go ahead and wrap up and just just reach out to the people and let them know your thoughts on it.
Well, dementia is real. We cannot predict when it's going to happen, and we cannot determine whether or not it's going to happen to our loved ones. So educating and continuous education, sensitizing the community at large about this stage of or this type of illness, it's of necessity. In that way, persons affected may not be totally surprised, but will actually have the knowledge of identifying. They'll have the awareness that when they see certain signs, it's time to get assessed, and not just become embarrassed as a family, because the dementia doesn't happen to any particular family. It's just there. So continued education will help to sensitize the community of what to look for, and how to handle it, and where to go for help. And that is necessary. And I want to say and emphasize too that if your loved one has dementia and is diagnosed as such, it's important that whoever the primary caregiver is, that person receives some form of training. So therefore, it don't take out a work permit for anyone who does not have a knowledge or is willing to learn about caring for someone with dementia. Because it is important, because persons with dementia can become violent. They were never violent in their active life, but dementia can manifest in violence. And so it's important to know how to handle it, whatever the manifestation happens to be.
Very true. And Ms. Pam, last few moments, tell us your thoughts onto it before we wrap up here.
So just quickly, in addition to what Miss Jasmine says, and we cannot, overemphasize the psychoeducation part of it, because I strongly believe when people know what they're about, we know what to do. So we educate ourselves, we get counseling if we need it, we take breaks when we need it, we face our feelings. It's hard sometimes, but we have to face our feelings and our fears, whatever those are, and prepare to experience feeling of loss more than once with dementia, because it keeps going and going until, so we just prepare ourselves to experience feelings of loss, and we can do this. It sounds different, but yes, we can prepare ourselves to experience feelings of loss more than once. Talk to someone when you need to, and combat your own feelings of isolation and loneliness.
All right.
We talk about joining the support group, very important, because there are people who are going through the same thing like you, and you can learn from them, as Mr. Chuck says. Accept yourself, take a break, use medication when patients become violent and aggressive, if the doctor has prescribed it, and so on.
We want to thank both of you ladies for coming on the show. We've run out of time, unfortunately, but it's been very interesting, and we thank you for being on Your Health, Your Wealth. This is a program that's brought to you every Wednesday morning, 6:30 to 7:30, right here on 89.1 Bobo Radio. Let's go to the break.
Excellent. Just a reminder, you're listening to Your Health, Your Wealth, which airs every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. right here on Bobo 89.1 FM. Remember, you can tune in each week. Tell a friend, most definitely. And you can also, if you missed the episode, you can check us out on YouTube on the Be Well, Be Healthy for Life channel. So don't forget to subscribe. We're going to take a quick break and come right back.
Your health, your wealth, your health, your wealth, your health for life.
Your Health, Your Wealth is brought to you by BAF Insurance. Your health, our priority.
Today on Be Well, Be Healthy for Life, Lady K, your wellness coach, talks about mental gymnastics to boost brain power.
Your brain and mental functions change as you age. In fact, the number one fear of getting old is a fear of declining mental health. With the exception of diseases, however, cognitive decline is not mandatory. Many people go into old age with their mental faculties intact, but it does take some mental gymnastics and healthy habits to increase your chances of being one of those. Building up your brain requires active participation in mentally stimulating activities, such as learning new skills like painting, drawing, or playing the piano. These are activities that require physical dexterity as well as mental effort. Try some mental gymnastics by doing word puzzles and solving math problems which require you to use those special thinking skills. Don't have a partner to play chess or Scrabble? No worries. There's an app for that. Your cell phone, tablet, and even desktop computers are full of puzzles and games to keep you mentally fit. And of course, reading a good book with plot twists and turns is always an option. Get creative. Engaging in crafting that requires you to design or create objects is also a fun way to keep your mind fit and in excellent working condition. Then there are foods that feed your brain to consider. In addition to the usual recommendation to eat a diet rich in vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein, there are many foods that have been proven to help boost or maintain a healthy brain. Beets, broccoli, avocados, and walnuts are all superfoods packed with brain-healthy nutrients. Eating salmon, mackerel, and other dark fatty fish, which are very high in omega-3 fatty acids, is proven to reduce brain fog while increasing memory and concentration. Blueberries are very high in antioxidants and protect the brain from degeneration, toxicity, and stress. Easily accessible tropical foods, Herbs and spices, long touted for their potency as brain foods such as turmeric, rosemary, coconut oil, tomatoes, and pumpkin seeds, just to name a few. And then there's green tea. Packed with phytochemicals, which gives it a bitter taste, green tea protects the brain from degenerative diseases and damage. There are many other foods that offer excellent nourishment for the brain. With just a little research, you're sure to find some of these foods already in your pantry or your vegetable tray in your refrigerator. One thing for sure, though, is breakfast is still the most important meal of the day. And having a healthy breakfast to kickstart your day will also set your brain power in motion.
Be Well, Be Healthy for Life is brought to you by BAF Global Group. Remember, always consult your doctor before starting any new health and wellness regimen. BAF Global Group offers life, health, and general insurance plus a full suite of financial solutions in the Bahamas, life insurance in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and affordable individual and group health insurance in the Cayman Islands. Visit us at mybafsolutions.com.
Your health, your wealth, your health, your wealth, your health for life.
Your Health, Your Wealth is brought to you by BAF Insurance. Your health or priority.
Well, we're back from our health segment with Lady K, and
Welcome, Mike, to Your Health, Your Wealth. Tell me about BAF Insurance Cayman.
BAF Cayman is a proud member of the BAF Global Group, comprising insurance companies that have been serving the needs of our Caribbean generations since actually 1920. Our company has been active in the Cayman Islands since 2009, and our business continues to grow year over year, supported by our loyal and diverse client base that values market-leading rates, simple but extensive plan designs, and access to the best medical facilities when they need it most, whether at home or overseas.
Is BAF licensed and registered?
BAF is licensed by the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority as an A-class insurance company and specifically approved to provide health insurance by the Health Insurance Commission.
If you could choose one thing that makes BAF stand out from the other insurance companies, what would that one thing be?
Although BAF offers many advantages over other insurance companies, whether you are an individual member or a member of your company's health insurance group, choosing BAF means putting your confidence in BAF to provide the highest quality health insurance plans with the lightest impact on your pockets. And we offer member support services that meet and exceed all your requirements. Our member services provided by our local Cayman-based team are always accessible to support you from submitting your applications or daily member claims to billing queries. You can always count on one of our team members to assist you.
Okay, Mr. Mike, getting close to the end of our 3 minutes. In wrapping up, are your group plans only for companies? And how many people do I need to make a group?
BAF Insurance offers both individual and group plans. Our group plans require a minimum of 5 employees and base rates starting as low as $150 CI dollars. The additional plans that require 5 employees or more is what we refer to as the BAF MedSafe Cayman Health Plus and the BAF Value Plan Enhanced 250, and the BAF Prestige Plan, our most robust plan, requires a minimum of 10 employees to form a group.
How can I get in contact with the company?
Very easy. You can just contact our individual agents, and or 949-5089 is our main office line to our receptionist, who would then transfer you to one of our sales agents. BAF website is accessible at www.mybafsolutions.com.
Your health, your wealth, your health, your wealth, your health for life.
Your Health, Your Wealth is brought to you by BAF Insurance. Your health, our priority.
I am Desiree, co-host of Your Health, Your Wealth. I'll be with you every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Saturday, November the 11th, on the public beach, 7 Mile Beach. There's going to be something called Dance for Diabetes. BAF is putting that on.
Okay.
It's going to be from 6:30 in the morning until 8:30 in the morning. You can go on the bafkman.com website and register there. So it's going to start at 6:30. I'm sure it's going to be a whole lot of fun because whatever BAF puts on, it's always a whole lot of fun. And they're going to have like a warm-up with FN Sports. They're going to have Zumba with the School of Fitness. They're going to have health checks by Total Health Limited. And they're also going to have body scans that are available from Essential Living. So the main sponsor is BAF, but it's also Total Health, School of Fitness, FN Sports, and Essential Living. And that is going to be like a whole lot of fun. It gives you something to do between 6:30 and 8:30 in the morning. I mean, I'll keep you up to date if there's going to be any breakfast afterwards. You know, I'm into the food thingy. So.
Your health, your wealth, your health, your wealth, your health for life.
Your Health, Your Wealth is brought to you by BAF Insurance. Your health, our priority.
Well, folks, that's our show wrapping up as we get you set for another week. Lady K gave us some great tips and some great information. And I just wanted to say, you can check out Lady K videos on the Be Well, Be Healthy for Life channel on YouTube. Or if you're a podcast listener, you can find all of our episodes on Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, or Podbeam, and you can look for the Be Well, Be Healthy for Life channel. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because these videos... And like. Oh, yeah, can't forget. And like. And these videos are definitely life-saving health tips brought to you free by BAF Insurance. Don't miss any episode. You could always tune in to the YouTube channel. Is Be Well, Be Healthy for Life.
That's it for today. And
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. Have a nice rest of the week.
Definitely. And we'll see you next week, Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30 right here on BAF, Your Health, Your Wealth on Bobo 89.1.
And until then, I am Desiree.
And I'm Chuck Taylor. Have a great week.
Your health, your wealth, your health, your wealth, your health for life.
Your Health, Your Wealth is brought to you by BAF Insurance. Your health, our priority.